What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? It is Wednesday. You know what that means? Another fantastic episode of AEW Dynamite tonight. Let me know what you guys thought about the show. I'm still trying to post this stuff here. I'm a little bit behind. It's Wednesday, so you also know that that means that life is chaos. Life is complete chaos on Wednesdays, trying to get all of this crap posted everywhere. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. That was an incredible main event match. Wow. I am shocked. I was shocked. I certainly was not expecting to see Britt Baker whip out the good old-fashioned thumbtacks. God damn. We are now live for the AEW Dynamite post-show. Post-show, there we go. Hell yeah. All right, so let me read this in just a second. I'm sorry, I apologize. So difficult. All right, so Obi James says, can't wait for Cross and Balor at TakeOver. I know, it should be a good one. I saw first says, what's up, AEW? Sorry I missed Monday's show, but I'm here tonight. Great women's wrestling match. Yeah, it was, man. No worries. Also, no worries. Those shows will always be here, man. They will always be here. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. I greatly appreciate it, as always. We have some exciting stuff to talk about tonight. I thought that tonight's show was pretty good, really, from start to finish. They addressed a couple of concerns of mine, and overall, I think they delivered a very good show. Very good show overall. Charles says, I think Walter versus Ciampa at TakeOver. Yeah, I think so too. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be a crazy one too. Leroy says, the Elite is fine. Yes, it is, man. It's always fine. Everyone is fine. Trust me. I know these things. I know these things. All right, so let's see who is here. Who is all here? James, how are you doing? Jeremy, Mark says that lights out match was insane. The most entertaining women's match I've ever seen in my life. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Glad you enjoyed it. I did too. I thought it was fantastic. Jonathan says AEW over NXT. Yeah, tonight for sure. Tonight for sure. Rocco says AEW's last 4 episodes have been amazing. I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. They've been fantastic. Basili says, woo, what a match and what a show of Dynamite. Wow. They delivered, man. They delivered. What a main event. Bosley says, what show was better? Didn't watch today. Definitely AEW. Definitely AEW today. It was a very good show. They addressed a lot of concerns over some stuff and things that a lot of people have been talking about, which we will also talk about. I think they're headed in a really good direction. Pinnacle is amazing already. I'm loving the vibes that I'm getting from Pinnacle and everything that they're doing. It's all good, man. It is all good. Miley Man says, I'll be honest, I only watched NXT, so I'm okay with AEW spoilers. Fair enough. AEW was really worth watching tonight. Obi James says, thank God it's Wednesday. Yes, I'll give you some woos for that one, my friend. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fernand says AEW main event was amazing, but the show itself wasn't the best. I thought it was good. I liked it. Joel says, so many good things happened tonight. Walter and Ciampa. Then we got Devlin and Escobar, Finn and Cross, Io and Raquel. Not bad. JBOJ, how are you doing, my friend? No core picture, Philip. No core picture. No core picture. My fiance's texting me. They got another bloody Britt Baker shirt. Joel says Bronson Reed and LA Knight. That match should be good. I feel like they will have a match soon against each other, probably to fill one of the nights at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. JTV says Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are the coldest sons of bitches alive. That team rules. I like the dynamic between Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. It's fantastic. I love the the shot at the Tuck and Shop Mania pay-per-view. That was awesome. That was awesome. Chloe says, hey OW, I'm on vacation right now, so I'm trying to catch what I can. No worries. Enjoy your vacation. Go enjoy your vacation. I wish I was on vacation. That would be amazing. I think we're gonna go to the beach soon. No, Philip, no core picture. All right, we're gonna start off just in timeout. All right, I'm sorry. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. Not at all. Van says the Elite Team Taz and Undisputed Era are fine. They are. All is good with them. They are all safe. They are all fine. They're all best buddies. If you guys have never tried to run each other off of the road all in good fun, then you are seriously missing out. It's just a fun game for two best friends to play. That's all. That is all. Mark says, oh, hey, what did that shirt say that Callis pulled out when talking to the Young Bucks? I didn't read fast enough. It said no leg slaps during kicking or something like that. I think I have a picture of it. Let me see. It said, do not slap leg when kicking. That's what it said. Safa says, not a good day for the Coles. One almost bled to death and the other got ran over. I know, right? Right? How crazy. DJ says all factions are fine when the Pinnacle shows up. Oh, Pinnacle's so good. So good. So good. Rocco says, so who's excited for Hardcore Justice on Saturday, April 10th, since there's not a huge day of another event going on? Yeah, WrestleMania Night 1 is certainly not going on that day either. What a brutal day to try to run a pay-per-view. Maybe that's why they gave Tommy Dreamer control of that one, huh? Basili says, I can't wait to see the Inner Circle versus Pinnacle. It's going to be a good one. Gonna be a good one, man. Flash says, man, MJF's promo was pure fire. I couldn't agree more. Hello, welcome back. How are you doing, my friend? Always good to see you. Same as you, Hoodie, Flash, Vanch as well, Basili, Rocco, all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Punk, Safa, Skinny as well. Let's see here. Mark says, LOL, Callis throwing shots while he's on another show. I know, right? Especially on Impact. JTV says, yo, what about Justice League Snyder's Cut tomorrow? Yes. Hell yes. I cannot wait. And to be honest with you, I'm doing this post show and I'm logging off the internet. I'm done. I am done because I'm not watching it tonight. Watching it tomorrow when my fiance gets home from work around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So I will not be spoiled. Nope. Not one single bit. No spoilers for the Justice League for me. So I'm signing off. Peace when the time comes. And I'm done until tomorrow. I will probably log on to Showbuzz tomorrow at around 1ish. Get the results and post them for the ratings for tonight. But that is about it. Other than that, I'm going into hiding. No, sir. Les says, man, look, I've been skipping WWE content altogether. I can't say I blame you, man. Cannot say I blame you. It's pretty rough out here. Even like some weird stuff going on in NXT that I don't like at all. Wall Street says, I'm gonna watch Snyder's Justice League movie in the AM, but I won't tell you the story. I'm not opening anything. No messages. I'm not even going to look when I open up my Instagram app. I'm gonna cover it and I'm just gonna push the little plus button. I'm gonna post what I'm gonna post and then I'm gone until I've seen the full thing. Hell yeah. I cannot have any spoilers. Skinny says, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I hope, man. I hope that's where all of this is going. I hope that, the reviews, the critics, everything for Justice League has been pretty good so far. I think that it's at like a 78 or an 80 or something now on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very high for a Zack Snyder movie. So I'm very excited. Miley Man says, AOW, Papa Cole and Kyle O'Reilly played a game of car tag. Car tag, huh? Yeah, man, you never played car tag? Come on. It's not the safest game in the world, but kids be kids, you know what I mean? It's all in fun and games. All fun and games. The Undisputed Era family is fine. They're fine. There's nothing to worry about. Nothing. Skinny says, do you think the main event was a 5-star classic? I don't know. I don't rate matches. Not even, I won't even begin to rate a match. It was fantastic though. I loved it. I think it made AEW history for sure. First women's main event, first lights out match on Dynamite. They killed each other. It was incredible. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I've been looking forward to this match ever since the entire card was spoiled. And the person that spoiled all the Dynamite stuff, he was like, I'm not spoiling this match. Like, you just have to watch it because it was incredible. So apparently, from what I recall reading, they got a standing ovation from the people in the back. The crowd went wild for them. Everyone enjoyed this. Van says, so basically this AEW's main event is a must watch. Yes, go watch this main event if you have the ability to do so. I highly recommend it. I Saw It First says, watching tonight, Justice League. Took the day off tomorrow from work. You are an MVP, my friend. You are an MVP. I wish I could do the same, but I promised my fiance I would wait for her to watch it. Yes, no Orange Cassidy on Dynamite. No Inner Circle either. But to be fair as well, this event was recorded last week. So what I believe they did is they did the live episode of Dynamite, then they did Dark, Elevation, and this episode as well. So some of that stuff that you saw in like Dark and Elevation, I believe was at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. Punk says, you mean this show is not live? No, this show was not live. So what AEW does, because of the pandemic, what they're doing to lessen the amount of time that people are there and the less amount of time that they're traveling is they have one live show. And when they have that live show, they record next week's episode of Dynamite, and they also record Dark and Elevation now as well. Alex says they film the second Dynamite on Thursdays. Oh, okay. So they film Dynamite then, and then they do both the Darks after them or after one of them. I know that the Darks are filmed very late at night, but good on them to reduce travel and take all the precautions that they need to, because NXT just had another breakout once again. It's like the 6th one, and they changed their entire card tonight. Well, not the entire card, but they changed a couple things off of it. Safa says a lot of Irish people tonight. Finn Balor, Jordan Devlin, and of course Pentagon with his green hat. I love that picture, man. Oh, Penta with a little green hat, man. That's legendary. I love it. Rocco says they film both the Darks on Wednesday night at like 2 in the morning, and then Thursday they film the following week of Dynamite. Okay, perfect. Perfect. There you go. There it is. Rocco's got you covered. Good brother Rocco. Anthony says, guys, Adam Cole is here, so he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, see, of course. Of course. What Adam Cole say? Guys, we just got drunk and we're speeding while driving. Wall Street says, wish WWE could tape their episodes instead of airing live. They did for a while, but I'm not sure why they don't anymore, considering that they don't have a crowd. They just use Thunderdome. And there's a lot of times where there have been people saying that they're not on the Thunderdome, but they're actually on TV. So it seems as if they're recording some of the stuff and keeping it for later use. Corbin says, my girlfriend and I enjoyed AEW. Cross and Balor teaming up was mad dumb. It was really dumb. I don't get it. That's very Raw light-ish, if you ask me. And then having Finn Balor take the pin is very Raw light-ish as well to me. I don't like it. I get that, you know, I get the whole thing that Cross beat him up and yada yada yada. So it's fine. It's not the end of the world, but it's odd for NXT, I would say. That's all. CM Punk says, hey, what about Baron Corbin versus AEW? Baron Corbin doesn't want any of that smoke. You know, he on his Instagram, all this man does is he drives around in his fancy cars with his fancy watches and cooks these steaks. And I tell you what, Chef AEW will outcook Baron Corbin any day of the week, anytime, any place. It don't matter. You give me a $5 piece of steak, you give Baron Corbin this $500 Wagyu steaks, I'll outcook him. I'll outcook him every time. And he saw my Instagram stories. He saw the thick, juicy boys that I was cooking on the grill. And he said, you know what, bro? I can't have this. I can't have this man's on Instagram. I got to block him. So if you wanted to know the beef between AEW and King Corbin, there you go. I just laid it all out for you. What a shame. What a shame. JVO says, I'm kind of getting tired of the Thunderdome. Me too, man. Me too. I've been over the Thunderdome since like the first episode. I don't quite understand anything behind it. I much prefer just having people there until they put the plexiglass in. That's what ruined it for me. Rocco says they don't tape because of the Thunderdome because they have to watch it live. Like, I know they taped the Christmas episode. Yeah, I mean, it sucks when they do that if they're not using taped footage of people in the Thunderdome, that everyone just spoils them and has like somewhat decently high quality pictures to just post of everything too. But I'm pretty sure that episode did pretty well. I think where they countered Christmas this year. Wall Street says they don't tape episodes of Raw and SmackDown anymore because of some sort of agreement with USA and Fox that requires them to air live. Makes sense. Makes sense. No Hacks says, hey, AEW, I'm back. I couldn't make it Monday because I was trying to fix my sleep schedule, but how's it going? All good, man. All good. It is all going good here. AEW Dynamite was fantastic tonight. I loved it. The main event was fantastic as well. And I really wish I could fix my sleep schedule because it is trash. Absolute trash. Obi James says, AEW, how was your 316 day? It was good. It was good. How was yours? How was yours? Safa says 3 more weeks before the war ends. Oh, man, I can't tell you how excited I am. I cannot wait. It's going to be the greatest thing in the world. It's going to be so good. God, I cannot wait. But it's like, the thing that's so weird is that we're so close. If it's only 3 weeks away, why haven't they mentioned it? Moving your TV show to a different date sounds like a really big deal. So I don't quite understand why it hasn't been mentioned. From what I see, it seems to be that it's still happening. I don't think that anything has changed. I still believe that they're moving. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Delight says, I know it's early, but the Baker vs. Rosa is easily a match of the year candidate. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. DNM says, I honestly didn't think AEW would be this good tonight because of how the sparks been lost lately, but holy crap, St. Patrick's Day Slam was such sorry. Such good shit. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And I even forgot that it was a themed episode. I forgot. Rocco says, I'm surprised Britt didn't win because Rosa isn't on a contract and she's likely going to dethrone Sheeta. Yeah, well, so technically this match doesn't count towards their win or loss, but they did supposedly show Sheeta watching the match from backstage. I missed that part. Yeah, I would have no problem with Thunder Rosa being the AEW Women's World Champion. No problem with that. And I mean, I've said for, well, probably months now, that it either needs to, whoever dethrones, well, the 2 people that I think that should dethrone Hikaru Shida are Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker. I think those are the only logical 2. And I think it's about time. Obi James says, can't wait to see the final results of the war. Oh yeah, someone can go through and like tally all the wins. That is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Molly Man says, fun fact, 19 years ago today, WrestleMania 18 took place. Oh, you know what, man? I saw something the other day. I'm very sad that I missed it. It was like, I don't know, like a couple of days ago. It was the anniversary of Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit winning and retaining, or whatever, I can't remember, their World Heavyweight Championships at WrestleMania. And I mean, I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks. All right. Chris Benoit, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. That's Chris Benoit in the ring. Obviously he's a piece of shit outside of the ring. But man, that moment, I wish that I would have seen that on that day so that I could have posted it, because I love that moment. I love those like heartfelt moments where they just can't hold it in and the emotions just break through. And I loved that. Just seeing Benoit and Guerrero just like hugging with their world championships with the confetti coming down, man. Oh, it's legendary. Legendary. Rocco says it's 70-2. Jarrett says AEW is like 98-2. So everyone's pretty fixed on them winning 2. And is that 2 viewerships or is that 2 demos as well? So I guess that's kind of 2 different ways to look at it as well. Skinny says on March 26th, it will be the 20th anniversary of WCW going out of business. That's crazy. That's crazy. I remember watching the last episode of Nitro that had Shane McMahon on it and all that stuff. And I think it was like by a pool or something outside. Crazy. That's so crazy. Andre says Chris Benoit's music was flames. It was, dude. It was really, 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 really good. Obi James says it's so sad that it's erased from history. It is, man. It is. It's crazy. I saw first says AEW is only one word to describe you. Workhorse. Brought to you by Christian Cage. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Workhorse is going to be my life on WrestleMania week. Ooh. That's going to be brutal. D&M says that was WrestleMania 20 where Benoit and Eddie were celebrating. Man, I need to go through and watch that. I need to go through and watch that before the WWE network goes away, because when they transfer it over to Peacock, they're going to lose like all that stuff. So, Vance says, can you please tell me what movies or series should I watch before watching the Snyder Cut, as I am a Marvel fan and know nothing about DC? So the two movies in this series of movies would be Man of Steel, which is a Superman movie, and then Batman versus Superman, which is, of course, Batman taking on Superman, and also Wonder Woman is in that movie as well. I think with those ones, you could pretty much watch it. The thing that is probably going to be difficult for a lot of people is that Zack Snyder likes to cram in a lot of nerdy shit into these movies. So there's a lot of characters in this movie. So all of it may not make sense. And of course it's 4 hours long as well. So yeah, I would watch Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. If you watch Batman versus Superman, make sure to watch the extended version. And, you know, you could probably, if you wanted to, you could probably just read online like what they're about. You might be able to get away with that as well. Rocco says, does AEW beat Raw and SmackDown in the 1834? I don't know about the 18 and 34s. I only do the 18 and 49s. Flash says, alert. T and Shaw has tweeted again. Okay, well, I gotta boot it up. We gotta head on over to Twitter. We gotta see what T and Shaw is working on. Let's find it out. Come on, T and Shaw, where are you? Oh yeah, there it is. Hashtag fear T and Shaw. Hell yeah, man, I love it. What does it translate to? Beware of the consequences. I love it. Let me like this. Let me retweet this bad boy. Always retweet T and Shaw. Basili says, it's so sad when you think about it, because if you talk to Edge or Chris Jericho or Batista or Randy, they say their best matches are with Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Chris Jericho. Yeah. It is sad. Very sad. Van says, we can see the side effects of Hunter hanging out with Vince. Yeah. I think that shows tonight. Van says, thanks. Anytime, my friend. Anytime. Miley Man says, Batman v Superman is like my favorite DC movie. I do not understand why it gets a lot of hate from people. Shout out to you, man. I love you, Miley Man. Us BVS guys, we gotta unite. We gotta be one. We gotta unite. Stand tall. We have to restore the Snyderverse. I don't understand why people didn't like BVS. I love it. I think that BVS is probably my favorite DC movie. BVS is probably my favorite, like, comic book movie as well. Jared says BVS gets the hate because it isn't Marvel. Yeah, I would kind of assume so. Like, it's all different, and I think that people didn't quite understand where things were going with it. Like, it was always supposed to be a 5-part series, and that was it. Like, it was never intended to be a cinematic universe or anything like that. So it was always Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Justice League 1, 2, and 3. And so, I mean, let's talk about it. Fuck it, who cares? So Justice League, we're obviously going to see the version tomorrow that he wanted. Number 2 was more so supposed to be kind of set in the nightmare scene, and it was supposed to build up the Legion of Doom. Those characters have kind of changed a little bit. It was originally supposed to be the Riddler for Batman, Orm and Black Manta for Aquaman. Oh God, who was it for Wonder Woman? I want to say it was Ares again. The Flash was Captain Cold. Am I forgetting anyone? Oh, and Superman was Lex. So it was supposed to be those people, and obviously they would have swapped out the Riddler for Deathstroke. So the second one was supposed to be like nightmarish, the nightmare scenes that you saw flashed to in BVS, and then the third one was supposed to be like a huge, the huge fight between all of them. And I won't go into the spoilers for what had happened in those. You can seek them out if you want, but that was supposed to be the entire story. Thoughts on Man of Steel? I thought it was fantastic. Skinny says Batfleck is the best. I agree, man. Lever says my favorite DC movie is Shazam. I liked Shazam. I liked it. Rocco says AEW destroys Raw in the 18-49 demo. They do not. Raw has a very high demo. And I think SmackDown does as well. Basili says AEW, I think the other reason why they hated it is because Eisenberg's Lex Luthor people hated. Yes, a lot of people hated that. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that whatsoever. Also, something to note as well. I hated Suicide Squad. So I don't know about you guys, but I hated that movie. I didn't like it whatsoever. You know, like the weird little goop guys. So those were supposed to be parademons from the Justice League movie that we saw, and the villain in that movie was supposed to be Steppenwolf. So at last minute, I think when they were changing everything around, they got rid of Steppenwolf. They changed the parademons to those like little goop guys and changed it to Enchantress being the villain. Such a shame, because that had potential to be an incredible movie as well. Do you think TakeOver will take place at the Capitol Wrestling Center or a stadium? I would assume where that's at now. That'd be my guess. Safa says, have you watched the new Superman show? Check it out. I have not. I saw that someone said, where was it? Someone asked about them rebooting Superman, and I think it's trash. I think it's absolute trash. Henry Cavill is an amazing Superman, and to just give him that one movie and not do another Man of Steel 2, like everyone's been dying to see Man of Steel 2, so I think it's a bunch of trash. No Hack says, have you seen the Harley Quinn animated series? I have not, no. But I did just watch the Deathstroke animated movie. It was good. Skinny says Ben Affleck is so underrated and people think that Bale is the best and that Affleck is more accurate. Yes, I much prefer Ben Affleck to Christian Bale, but I still liked those movies. I just think that they're two completely different things, to be honest. Libra says, let's pray the new Suicide Squad movie will be better than what we got. I hope so, because that stuff was doo-doo. Absolute doo-doo. Victor says, about time we see a bloody women's match. Bravo. Yes, it was a good one. Jared says, Jared Leto's Joker never got enough screen time. I've always loved the absolutely insane Joker. Yeah, so the director said that he has like enough footage of Jared Leto's Joker to like make his own Joker movie from it. So it's crazy. Andre says, Cena's in the new Suicide Squad movie, isn't he? Yes, he is. Punk, are you a fan of Fast and the Furious? I was a huge fan of the Fast and Furious series, but I haven't watched like the last 2 or 3, and I haven't watched like Hobbs and Shaw or anything like that. I really liked the car enthusiast, like focus stuff. I thought that was great. So they kind of lost me when they were jumping from skyscrapers to skyscrapers and like Dubai and supercars. Like I thought that was kind of weird. It was a little much for me. I'll probably get around to watching them at some point though. Van says, you know a series everyone watched? Harry Potter. I have a spoiler alert for you. I'm sorry to break your heart, but I have never seen a Harry Potter movie. I'm sorry. I've also never seen a Lord of the Rings movie. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I've never seen them. D&M says, when it's all said and done, MJF will retire as the greatest heel in professional wrestling. I like Kenny Omega and Don Callis, but MJF should be the AEW World Champion right now. I disagree with him being the world champion. I think he's got a little ways to go. And I think that there are quite a few people that need to sit on that throne first. But there's no denying how great MJF is. He's fantastic. He's so good. So good. And I think he's perfect to be in Pinnacle and to help be a leader of that group, because I think that this is going to help all of them. And I think that MJF and FTR, I think they'll be able to really help elevate Shawn Spears and Wardlow. I think we all know that Wardlow is like gonna be huge, like a huge star at some point. He has to be. Wardlow has to be like a huge star at some point. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see it. Let's see here. Punk says Miro says he's going for the AEW title. Yes, he did. I can't wait to talk about that. Skinny says, AOW, do you remember when CM Punk said, oh, mine went straight to DVD just like yours? No, I do not. I saw first says waiting on Fast and Furious to go to space. Furious 10, lunar gravity. Yeah, that's a little much. Victor says, you gonna watch the NWA pay-per-view before Fastlane? No, I'm not, unfortunately. No. I have not watched NWA yet, period. I did mean to go through and watch Power, but they took it all off YouTube and now it's on Fight. So, I don't know. I'll probably get around to watching it at some point, but who knows? Leroy says the Fast and Furious movies went from being about fast cars to some Mission Impossible, James Bond, spy, espionage type stuff. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, very weird. Are you talking to me? Money Heist? What the hell is that? Money Heist. On Netflix? Dude, that looks creepy as hell. What in the world? Skinny says Punk said that while owning Triple H for being the chaperone, since Punk is trying to be a big time movie star. Like, oh, okay, I see. I did not watch wrestling during the CM Punk era, unfortunately. Safa says, so does Ciampa dethrone Walter? I don't think so. I don't think the title will be on the line. Personally. Crazy. If so, though. Absolutely crazy. Punk says, I'm excited for Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane because of the special guest referee Edge. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It will certainly be interesting. D&M says, I love Sheeta, but her reign is too long. Time to drop it to Thunder Rosa. I couldn't agree more. Flash says, Money Heist is an excellent series. I recommend that one to you. Okay, I might have to check it out. Rocco says, do you think the ratings ruler Edge draws big for SmackDown? No, I don't think so. I don't think that their viewership has changed like whatsoever. Philip says, the core picture, everything, give me the core picture. I'm going to keep on spamming. Well, if you just want to play that, then I'll just keep timing you out. I have the power. Leroy says, Jade Cargill should be the one to dethrone Hikaru Shida. I'm not quite sure that I'm ready to wait that long. Punk says, but still SmackDown's better than Raw. Easily. Not even a question. Rocco says, I think it will drop big due to March Madness. It could. Van says, fuck it, give Philip a beer and some popcorn. Delight says, I think they just want to give her more defenses since she hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities to do so. It could be. I saw first says Batman's Soul of the Dragon was okay. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think I've seen that. Mally Man says Philip is like Batista yelling, give me what I want to Triple H. The ultimate heel, man. The ultimate heel. All right, let's start getting into this show a little bit here, because we do have quite a bit to talk about. Also, something interesting to talk about as well, actually, before we actually get into the show, is that I think on Fightful Select today, where is it? Let me see here. Okay, so this is from Fightful Select on Charlie Caruso having some heat backstage. Good old Charles in trouble with the WWE. So, like I said, this is from Fightful Select. It says, if you've been missing Charlie Caruso as of late, there's a reason she's been absent from WWE TV. Fightful heard from several sources on Raw that she gained heat backstage after consistently being late to conduct interviews meant for Raw. We're told that there were specific instances with Randy Orton and Sheamus that led to WWE taking her off of television for the time being. The belief among the talent roster is that her WWE contract expires soon, but there's no word on her future with the company. We're told that Vince McMahon got word of the tardiness himself and took exception to the situation, but another name in the company said that she's one injury or illness away from being back in the fold. The same source also indicated to us that Kevin Patrick being brought in was seen as a direct replacement for her. So looks like we could be losing Charles. Could be losing Charles, which would be a huge shame. We've already lost the great Kathy Kelly. The great Kathy Kelly, but we can't lose Charles too. We can't lose Charles. Yes, Victor, pretty much, yes. Punk says, I think AEW's main event tonight got above 1 million viewers. We'll find out tomorrow. We will find out tomorrow. Obi James says, Charlie does work for ESPN. Yes, she does. She is on First Take with the GOAT, Stephen A. Smith. Delight says, shop new merch on AEW shop. Yes, the bloody Britt Baker shirt. That was the thing I said my fiance sent me at the beginning of the show. Mr. Rose says, did Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa set a new benchmark for hardcore women's wrestling? Maybe for like mainstream, but I'm sure that there's a couple people doing crazy shit like this all the time. I've seen a lot of pictures of Chelsea Green busted open, and same with Candice LeRae. James Wheeler, how you doing, my friend? Always good to see you. Delight says that Pinnacle shirt ain't it. I liked it, I think. It's got like the mountain, right? Is it shopaew.com? There it is. Let me take a look. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that Pinnacle shirt. That Jade shirt is pretty good too. But yeah, this Britt Baker one, another one of her bleeding. That's good. That's Darby and Ding. Darby, Jesus. Oh, that Sting and Darby Allin shirt is pretty cool too. I like it. Mr. Rose says yes, him at mainstream. Thanks for answering. Yeah, anytime, man. We are a community here. We're a community. Rocco says, what was better, Bayley versus Sasha Iron Woman match or Rosa versus Baker? I have no idea, man. I typically don't go back and rewatch matches, so this one's fresh in my head, so I'd probably tell you that one, but I don't know. Molly Man says, speaking of Stephen A. Smith, did you hear he has his own minifigure called Mini Stephen A? It's specifically for the March Madness brackets. I saw it on Twitter briefly, but I didn't know what it was. And I saw that he changed his Twitter name to that. Van says, Britt Baker, the John Moxley of the women's division. I love it. Victor says, Taya Valkyrie in AAA was always bleeding. There you go. Clayton says, NXT was great tonight. The build up for TakeOver better than WrestleMania. They're not doing jack shit for WrestleMania, man. It's crazy. To just like tune into Raw and have them be like, hey, guess what? Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. It's like, wait, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Punk says, hey, do you know Big Show say something about Justin Bieber, John Cena in a match against the Wyatt family? Yeah, I saw something about that today. About Justin Bieber supposedly was supposed to be in a WrestleMania match, but they couldn't come to terms on a deal. Oh, man. How interesting would that be? DNM says, I really love what they're doing with Darby Allin as the TNT champion. He's been a big time star. I'm happy in the direction that they're going to go now. I think it's going to be good. Basili says, AOW, what's the women's revolution in WWE? Shouldn't have been not this cupcake cute shit AEW delivered with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa is what women's wrestling should be. I mean, obviously, I think this is, you can't continue to do stuff like this over and over and over. This is kind of a rare once every couple months type deal where you get something like this that's very special. You don't want to overdo these at all, and you certainly don't want these people just getting absolutely destroyed every single week. But yeah, I think that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa have been on top of the AEW women's division for months now, and I've been saying this feud, I love this feud so much, and I'm so happy that they got this opportunity to do this lights out match. So very excited. Clayton says we should have the Demon Finn versus Karrion Kross. I'm not quite sure if Finn wants to be Demon anymore. James says, I don't know if Peacock will allow Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, Enzo Amore, Jack Gallagher, and Chris Benoit. Yeah, we are not sure what they're doing. We have no clue what they're doing yet with that kind of stuff. So Disney Plus kind of had that issue earlier. Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, it was, oh man, what was it? It was Dumbo and something else. Like I want to say it was like Dumbo and Peter Pan. It was 4 movies that they said had a lot of racial undertones in it or something like that, or that they were just kind of flat out racist. I had like racist things in them. So they didn't remove them from the platform, but they removed them from kids being able to see them. So I'm assuming there's some sort of kids versus adult profile on Peacock, or sorry, Disney Plus. So hopefully Peacock has the same thing where they can separate younger people from adults and we can still watch all of this stuff, because if they're going to take away the library of the WWE network, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. That's what we want to watch. If you take away the Attitude Era and especially the Ruthless Aggression Era too from WWE's history, there's not really much to watch. Like I guess you could watch what, like 2016 SmackDown or whatever. Everyone loved that, but all that old stuff is really what people want to see. That's what they tune in for. Especially there's not going to be WCW content or pay-per-views whatsoever either on Peacock until at least they said SummerSlam is when they want to have everything up. So before we get into the actual shows too, I do want to talk about Peacock and the stuff that came out today, and then we'll get into the shows because we're about 50 minutes in here. DNM says, I'm still pissed off that we're not getting AJ Styles versus Triple H at WrestleMania 37. AJ even said that he wanted to face a legend like Triple H for this year's Mania. I know, it sucks so bad. And it would have fit in perfect too. It's a shame. Anthony says, tomorrow the WWE network no longer exists. That is not true. That is not true. It exists until like April 5th or something like that, I believe. Let me go back and see here. Yeah, so April 5th is the last day that the people in the United States can use the WWE network. April 5th. Yeah, so I guess April 4th is the last day technically that you could use the WWE network, because the 5th will be exclusively on Peacock. So for this, WWE sent out an email today saying that you will not have to cancel your subscription. They will no longer renew at this point, so you don't have to worry about anything. If you just had your membership renew, let's say just today or whatever, you'll essentially only be paying for half of it. So when your membership expires or gets canceled, rather, they will send you the difference back. If you paid with a credit card or debit card, you'll get the difference back. If you paid on a gift card, then they will, I believe they said they will send you an email, and you'll be able to pick a gift card of your liking for a couple places, and they'll send you that as well. So there are ways to get through them. If you have a WWE Network gift card at the moment and have not claimed it, you no longer can claim it, and they will be sending out emails later, and you will have the same options to convert that WWE Network gift card into a different gift card. They didn't say if there were any fees or if it would be like straight one-to-one. So if you have a $20 gift card, I'm not sure if you'll get a $20 gift card for somewhere else, or if you have a $20 gift card, they'll take like $5 and you'll get a $15 gift card somewhere else. I'm not sure on that. They didn't specify. No Hack says, is the MJF stable Pinnacle or the Pinnacle? That's a good question. I would assume just Pinnacle. Let's take a look at their shirt and see what it says. Pinnacle. Yep. So just Pinnacle, no the. Will there be Punk's pipe bomb speech on Peacock? At least not at the beginning. No, not at the beginning. Hopefully by August of this year, though. Skinny says, will the Golden Era and New Generation Era be on Peacock? So, okay, what's going to Peacock is like just the recent stuff. So I think we'll have the past year's worth of pay-per-views. We'll have every single WrestleMania will be available. You'll get all of the like 24s, the 365s, the Broken Skull sessions, any sort of like Untold, like any sort of documentary or series, you will have those as well. The older content, they'll be adding in slowly. So I don't know which way they're going to do it from the beginning, or if it's just going to randomly be added in throughout the time. I have no idea, but they did say that they hope to have about everything ready to go by SummerSlam. Skinny says, hopefully Hulk Hogan and Macho Man stuff is on Peacock. We'll have to see. I saw it first as, mark my words, this year WrestleMania views will be so low, WWE will blame Peacock merger as part of the ratings due to the conversion. Possibly. Oh, don't worry, I hyped him out immediately as soon as I saw him. Philip, you gotta chill, man. We love to have you here. You're the ultimate heel. But if you just keep spamming, I'm just gonna keep timing you out every time. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. DNM says, I feel like this year's WrestleMania is gonna make last year's look like $1 million with what they're doing. Yeah. Pretty much, man. This WrestleMania has got to be the worst road to WrestleMania I've ever witnessed in my entire life. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. All right, let's get on with the show now. We're 53 minutes in, so if you're still here and you haven't already subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to hit that like button as well. It really helps when the video gets published and goes live on YouTube. It's such good shit for the YouTube analytics. As always, super chats are open, not required whatsoever, but they are there. And also we have memberships. Memberships are now open as well. We're going to have some very exciting things with those. If you're interested in memberships, all you have to do is go down by, I'm assuming where the subscribe button is, there's a little join button. You click that good old fashioned boy, and you can become a disciple for $4.99 a month. You get a cool little badge next to your name in my YouTube live streams, and in the comments, you also get access to this exclusive Phantom Spec 2 Sweet emote that I made for my Twitch gaming channel as well. We will be doing members only watch-alongs for pay-per-views, retro reviews, and video topics and suggestions. Should be a lot of fun. I do have a video that I need to make on those to go into more detail, but should be a fun thing to do in the future. Obi James says, and I thought last year's Road to WrestleMania was bad. Me too, man. Me too. Skinny, WWE do Mox versus Omega type explosion match for The Fiend and Orton. Oh God, I hope not. I hope not. So anyways, this week's episode of AEW Dynamite opened up with Pinnacle. All these guys in suits, these top guys getting off a private jet, looking and feeling like $1 million. I love stuff like this. I tell you guys all the time. I love it when they do like the earlier todays and they have the people arriving at the arena and stuff like that. They used to do it a lot back in the day. You'd be like 45 minutes into Monday Night Raw or whatever, and you would have Stone Cold Steve Austin come in, and he'd be in his human clothes, his normal clothes, okay? Like a person should be. And I loved all that stuff, man. You'd have Vince McMahon showing up in the limos, and Shane and like all those other people with The Rock and stuff like that. I loved that. So I always get a kick out of this kind of stuff when they do it. Let's see. No Hack says, do you know where the join button is on mobile? I don't. Let me see. It actually doesn't look like it shows up on mobile. That's weird. No thanks. Yeah, there's no join button on mobile. What a shame. Behind the subscribe button. Really? I don't see it on mine, on my iPhone. Obi James says Evolution vibes. Oh yes, it was just so good. So good. Like when I picture an asshole, oh, you know what? Maybe it won't show me because it's my YouTube. Maybe that's why. But anyways, I love like an asshole heel in suits. Like that's just like, I guess to play on words, that's just like a Pinnacle heel type deal. Like I really, really, really like that. So with all of these guys doing off that whole gimmick in this big stable, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good one. Vance says, try checking incognito. I don't think you could do that from the app, can you? Well, I mean, I don't want to get a membership to myself either. Yeah, I don't know. But Bob says, finally, Walter is back. Yes, Walter. Yes. I'm excited for that. I really am. Anthony says tonight was such good shit. Yes. Yes, it was. I saw first says Pinnacle takes a bite from the Nature Boy, styling and profiling. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Vance says, who says Vince is not a genius? Just when you think this can't get bad, he proves you wrong. Be like Vince. Yeah. Vince, man. Molly Man says Inner Circle versus Pinnacle in a it scrolled. In a War Games match, please. I think you mean Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts. More so Blood and Guts. More so, you know. I can't wait for them to do Blood and Guts. It's gonna be so good. No Hack says, damn, I'll try when I get on my computer. No worries, man. No worries, man. I appreciate that, though. I appreciate that. Punk says, Vance, they used to be... Oh, iDevice. Use Android. James says, I might as well edit my WWE Network profile and change my country to Canada. Yeah. But I think they're probably they're probably smarter than that. So you'd probably have to get a VPN if you wanted to and change your location to Canada. Shelvis says, I'm here, just finished AEW. Good to see you, Shelvis. What did you think of the show tonight? We're actually just getting started as well for the show, so you tuned in at the perfect time. Bob says, when are we getting an AEW face reveal? Whenever my YouTube revenue is enough for me to buy a camera. So I'm looking at a couple right now. I actually went out to buy one. I think I said it on the post show on Monday, but I went out to go buy the camera Actually, it's a Sony A6100. It's like $850, I think, or $999, something like that, somewhere around like $900. It's a really, 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 really good one, but they're sold out everywhere. Nowhere to be found whatsoever. So I do have an order in at a place, a picture place here. So I don't know, they said maybe within like a month or two they'll have one in and I'll be able to go pick it up. I've been looking at an older one, a Sony A5100, to get it. I might go that route. I can get a used one for pretty cheap. So it's about $300 for that one. And then the lens that I want, it's a Sigma 16 1.4 aperture. So it'll give you like a nice crisp up close and then a blurry background. That's what I really want to do. And then I can, I got to buy the 4K capture card as well, and lighting. Need really nice lighting to have as well. So I'm going all out. I told you, like, I'm not getting some shitty webcam for $200 and calling it a day. We're going to the top. Going to the top. And a lot of things, content wise, will change a little bit. Of course, it'll just be me up there chatting with all of you. But yeah, I have a lot of exciting things planned. So I'm going to get it whenever I can. I'll have it ready to go when that time comes. And then when the ad revenue gets there, I'll pull the trigger and we'll be good to go. So an incentive to be a member. Incentive to be a member. Become a disciple. Come out of the darkness and into the light. And be a disciple to the great keeper of truths. It'd be fantastic. Fantastic. But yeah, I don't know when that's going to happen. And I don't know how much money you need to even get before you withdraw on YouTube. It's my first rodeo, so I can't really tell you what happens. And I'm assuming that WrestleMania week is going to be absolutely insane. I'm assuming that the views on everything are just going to be crazy all around. So we'll see how long it takes to get there. If it's taking a little bit longer, maybe I'll just pull the trigger anyways. We'll see. But I will have it. I promise you, I will have it, and it will be very good. It will be worth the wait. It will be. So No Hack says, when's the first watch party gonna be? I don't know. I really want to get together and watch All In. I do, really bad. I think it'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. We should probably do it before WrestleMania. That's for sure. And I'm not quite sure how to do it yet. I can either like share screen on Discord and we can watch it there, or so the thing that I'm not quite sure on is that I'm not quite sure if it would be best to just do what I'm doing essentially now and just be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, play. And then we'll all watch it like that. Or on Discord, I think I can show my screen and then we could just all watch it like that. But it wouldn't be able to be on YouTube because copyright, obviously. Punk says AEW celebrate his first income. Yeah, I don't know when I can draw out from this. I have no clue. I have no clue even how to do it, to be honest with you. James says, I'll talk to you during commercials. Okay, sounds good, man. Sounds good. But yeah, I want to do All In for the first one, and then I think just kind of whatever anyone else wants to watch for the other ones. We'll try to do them at least at a minimum once a month on a day that everyone can do them on. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And just kind of hang out and watch wrestling content. Relive some old stuff that was great, or maybe see some old stuff that wasn't so great, because I've seen a lot of that lately as well. Jesus. But anyways, back to AEW Dynamite here. Let's get going with this guy here. So first match of the night starts off hot with Cody Rhodes taking on Pentagon Jr. No Hack says Discord is probably the best. Yeah, I would assume so. And I want to get gaming too. Gaming as well. I want to get back into that. Man, I always say like hopefully this week, but I really want to do it this week. I need to finish Fire Pro. I think I only have like one episode left to do a Fire Pro before I beat the World Heavyweight one. And then I want to play Wrestling Revolution 3D and Breath of the Wild. So we'll see. CM Punk says during Mania weekend you'll be like money, 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 money. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right, so first match of the night. Pentagon Jr., aka Penta L0M, Penta L0 Miedo, the man of a million names, Penta, taking on Cody Rhodes. This one started off hot. Penta attacked Cody before everything was said and done and finalized and ready to go. And this was a good match overall. I thought that this was very good. A lot of people are very mad at this one here because Cody Rhodes stole a win over Penta. He got him with a roll up, secured the 3. A lot of people are mad. I think most of I haven't gone back and looked because, like I said, Wednesdays are they're very, very chaotic for me. So I'm not always able to spend a lot of my time in the comments and like chatting with people and doing whatever needs to be done. But man, I saw a lot of people very upset about Cody stealing that win. And this is where I always kind of say how I say that like certain things can be important and certain things can be meaningful. This is one of those times where I think that's the case. They typically don't do roll-ups that much in AEW. It's not like a 8-time every single event type deal. It's a pretty rare occurrence here. So Cody stealing the win over Penta, I don't mind whatsoever. I don't think this devalues Penta whatsoever as well. Another one of the big differences between AEW and let's say Raw, for instance, here is that on Dynamite we get to see these guys go, right? So Cody and Penta beat the hell out of each other. They had a really good match, and to me, I feel like that's really important. I think it's always really important to have a really good match. So I don't think this takes away anything from Penta whatsoever. Of course, after he got rolled up, he continued to beat on the shoulder of Cody Rhodes. So maybe this is going to be a heel turn for Cody. He's completely separated from the Elite and all of this Bullet Club type stuff. He's completely separated. He really has nowhere that he's going except for this. So maybe turn him heel and have him go through with this. I don't know. I think that'd be good. Obi James says, should Cody turn heel? Possibly, if it would help, sure. Yeah. But anything that Cody Rhodes does, people are going to be pissed off at. I mean, that's literally just how it is. The guy breathes air. People are pissed. The guy puts over Darby Allin, gets down on one knee, presents him the TNT Championship, and people still aren't happy about it. So I don't really know what's best for Cody because there's probably always going to be people who are pissed off at whatever's happening. But, maybe a whole like, hey, I'm a heel and I'm a VP. I can do whatever the hell I want type deal. Maybe it'll work. Who knows? I saw first says, did you get a chance to play 3D All-Stars with Sunshine? No, I haven't. And I want to so bad. I have them. I bought them. I got conned into buying those as well. Like, what the hell? I saw Nintendo said that actually getting physical copies of them is going to be very hard. They're very limited. And so I went to Target. I was at Target with my fiance and I saw they had like 2 copies. So I'm like, oh man, you know what? I should probably just get this. You know what I mean? I should probably just get it because I love all of these games. So I'm like, oh, I should just get this. Then we went to another Target and I swear to God, they had like 50 of them. And I'm like, wait, what? I thought these were supposed to be limited. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very excited to play that as well. I really want to play Super Mario Sunshine in videos. I'll probably do that in video, and I need to play through Crash 1, 2, 3, and 4 because I have the new Crash 2, but I want to play through all the old ones again first. James says, I have an idea. Just discuss both takeover nights on April 8th. I'd want to do each night by themselves. It would be the best because YouTube algorithms and stuff like that, I'm kind of at their mercy for stuff like that. And Now that I'm monetized, I hope I don't get in trouble for that thumbnail. I hear a lot of people get demonetized for things, not like demonetized as a whole, but for videos over blood. Like Mortal Kombat players can't really play the game because it detects the blood and thinks that it's bad. So, yikes. Van says Snyder Cut dropping in 4.5 hours. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. So excited. D&M says, looks like Cody really meant it when he said, I'm sticking with you guys till the very end. He really is a diehard babyface. Yeah. I think a heel turn would be nice, though. Especially, I mean, I don't know. I guess, are Pac, Penta, and Rey Fenix heels, faces? I don't know. It's always so gray in AEW, I guess. Clayton says, do you feel like NXT and AEW management talk backstage like Cody and Hunter talk to each other on a regular basis? No, but I would assume that the talent does, for sure. Definitely think that the talent does. That's why I never understand why people care so much about like the actual quote unquote war between NXT and AEW. Like, for the most part, it's all fun and games, and all these people are friends. I mean, hell, Britt Baker is dating Adam Cole. Like, you don't think Matt Jackson, Kenny Omega, you don't think any of those guys maybe keep in touch with Finn Balor or anything like that? Or Adam Cole, too? Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Jeff's on Raw, you know, like... what was it? I can't remember if it was Dax or Cash from FTR. They were talking about Chad Gable and Sasha Banks. So, you know, I'm sure that these people keep in contact. James says NXT desperately needs to catch up with special editions of their own episodes. AEW loves to treat special editions of the shows like their pay-per-views, and I think it's a really good thing, especially since they limit themselves to 4 pay-per-views a year. I think that it's important to kind of have things stand out. Punk says, I missed the Wednesday Night Wars after Mania. Pff, man, this shit cannot go away faster. Cannot go away faster. I'm so tired of covering both wrestling shows at the same time. I miss so much content. It would be so nice to just sit here and talk AEW, and it would be so nice last night to just sit there and talk NXT. You can absorb everything. You can be more critical of things. You know, you'll be more aware of everything, and you'll be able to absorb just all of the content, because a lot of the times it's so fast paced. With a lot of things going on that I just get so behind. No Hack says, technically speaking, heels and faces are obvious because of the tunnels. You're right. I actually hadn't considered that. They do have heel and face tunnels. I just never pay attention to who comes out of what. Oh, actually, you know what? Rey Fenix came out of the face tunnel last week. So I wasn't paying attention this week. I didn't see which one he came out of. I'm assuming the face tunnel, again, considering that Angelico is working with Matt Hardy. I remember that because the camera guy was waiting over at the heel tunnel for Phoenix to to enter, but he was coming out of the face one that time, so he had to like get over there. I saw first says, love MJF promo making fun of Jericho's weight and hairline. It's so good. So good. Flash says, what's the deal with QT Marshall? I have no clue, man. And you know, I was watching Elevation on Monday, and maybe someone here can answer this question for me. I have no idea, but why were they saying QT Marshall on commentary the whole night? Like, they put a huge emphasis on shall. QT Marshall. Marshall. Did he do like a whole Mustafa Ali thing where he's like, that's not how you pronounce my name, it's Marshall, not Marshall, or something like that? It was driving me nuts just listening to him be like, Marshall, QT Marshall. I'm like, God damn. God. Leroy says, I'm just a simple wrestling fan. It doesn't matter if it's WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, or Ring of Honor. I love wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I would pretty much agree with you. I just wish I didn't have to watch them both on the same night. No Hack says, yeah, he did the Mustafa. Okay. All right. That makes a lot of sense. I saw that he cut a promo, but I didn't hear it because I was doing something else. I think I was making dinner or something. Van says Randy was in touch with FTR to prepare the greatest wrestling match ever. Really? Molly Man says, is this going to be another case of updating names just like Omos? Oh god, that was so weird too. Clayton says NXT should be on Thursdays. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Then people can, I mean, I personally don't watch Impact, but I think I'm going to be watching Impact for the next couple of weeks, or at least paying attention to it, because Kenny Omega was at the tapings. So, and they're filming a month's worth of content. So expect to see your AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega on Impact the next coming weeks. Clayton also says Undisputed Era is fine, and I couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. Obi James says the Natural Nightmares may split and no one cares, but you may not care, but they are fine. The Natural Nightmares are fine. Completely fine. No Hack says, I think the way the commentary team say Omos is wrong, but what am I going to do about it? Yeah, so, okay. So when they first did it, they talked about how he said that they were saying his name wrong. So it's not Omos, it's Omos. So kind of like having an A instead of an O there. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Punk says, but Vince agrees with NXT on Tuesdays. It'll be interesting to see how everything shapes up on Tuesdays. We'll have the Tuesday Night Wars with NXT, AEW Dark, and Impact. Jake says, you're WWE champion Kenny Omega. Yes. Oh, man. That's got to be so hard to get out of your brain. Like if you're just a guy that's been working with WWE and you just like you just have it on the mind because those are the three letters that you always are, you're so used to saying. So WWE, like so funny. So after this, we went to a backstage segment here with the Young Bucks cutting a promo on Ray Phoenix getting the win over Matt Jackson last week. And he said, look, you got the win over me in a singles match. You shouldn't be too proud of yourself. I'm a tag team wrestler. I'm a part of one of the best tag teams in the world. And here's proof. I'm the AEW, or one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions. So don't get ahead of yourself. I like that they addressed this as well. A lot of people, you know, were kind of mad that Matt Jackson lost considering that he's the champion. Never a good look to have champions lose on your thing, but he did go to give him a Meltzer driver, but of course he was in a singles match. So this is where Ray Phoenix was able to take advantage here and get the win. So I have no problem with that. They're using logic. They're kind of putting stuff behind it. Of course, you're going to, when you've been wrestling for as long as them, you're going to have that muscle memory. You're going to have those things that you just naturally go to and do. So him trying to set him up for that makes complete sense to me. That being a downfall, just, it completely makes sense as well. No problems with that whatsoever. And I just like how they were addressing it. But of course they were interrupted by Don Callis, the invisible hand. Pretty much said that Kenny Omega is a wrestling god. And a few other choice words for the Young Bucks. And he said that the Young Bucks are not elite anymore. And he asked them, when they look in the mirror, do they still see the same guys that they were in New Japan Pro Wrestling? I don't know if this is kind of teasing them to join them all in a heel type deal or not. It still seems like their faces. I mean, during the tag match with Good Brothers, Mox and Eddie Kingston, they stopped Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers from attacking and doing further damage. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll end up going that way. I would love to see them go that way, to be honest. Reuniting the band, I think, would be fantastic, especially when we get that inevitable New Japan Pro Wrestling invasion. The Bullet Club has to be coming at some point. Like, period. They have to be. There's no way that they would leave that on the table. There's no way whatsoever. DNM says, is it me or MJF just the perfect wrestler? He shows how you don't need flips to be the best. It's all about character work. I always believe that character is most important. Yeah, and he does a lot of other little things as well, to make things a little more interesting and to make them feel more realistic. Randy Orton's really good at doing that as well. I saw first is finally LA Knight has debuted in NXT. Ugh. LA Knight, man, with his bootleg Matt Riddle music, man. Come on. Punk says, Jeff Hardy wants to go to AEW. I'm not sure if that's true. He re-signed a deal with them. He had the opportunity and he re-signed. I think maybe he's trying to hold on to get that last WWE World Champion run, but I'm not quite sure it's going to happen. Van says, I miss JR and King on commentary. That is still the best chemistry two guys can ever have. I couldn't agree more. That's my golden era of wrestling. That's what I grew up watching. So it doesn't get better than that to me. JR and King is peak commentary for me. I'll always know and love that more than anything. Yeah, getting back on topic here, I would love to see the Young Bucks reunite with the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. They're so friendly with the Good Brothers on BTE and stuff like that. So maybe someday soon, I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll get the Young Bucks versus the Good Brothers for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Perhaps. I don't know. The Good Brothers did lose their Impact Tag Team Championships to David Finlay and Juice Robinson, and they are headed back to Japan for the entire month. So they will not be getting a rematch for their championships until Impact's Rebellion, which is next month sometime. Van says, you know what? Vince McMahon wants to go to AEW. Vince McMahon All Elite? That'd be hilarious. And they just hired him, he just wanted to be an on-screen person. Next up, we had another match with Jade Cargill. She was taking on Danny Jordan. Obviously, this was a squash match here. Jade Cargill looks fantastic, if I'm being honest. She's very talented. Very talented. And, I think with a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, I think that she could easily be on top of the women's division. She has the look and everything. Her entrance is fantastic. I loved the blue tornado that they did for that. Her logo rules as well. So I like it. I'm all in on Jade Cargill, to be honest with you. And so after the match, she went out and got in the face of Red Velvet once again, and they kind of were almost exchanging blows here at ringside, but they were able to be separated. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a singles match between Cargill and Red Velvet coming up soon in the next couple episodes of Dynamite. And it should be a good one. Because Red Velvet is very talented as well. Very good. Flash says, unpopular opinion, JR and Paul Heyman were better in commentary. They were good. I liked Paul Heyman on commentary. I also liked, for completely different reasons, I like Booker T on commentary as well. He's fun. He's funny. He's not so serious. I like that about that. I like that. DNM says, Hardy has been one of my favorites of all time. I hate how they're not doing anything with him. Yeah, it's brutal. Poor Jeff Hardy, man. I can't, it's so weird to think about all of the people on Raw and SmackDown that are just so talented, that are just sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. That will forever blow my mind. It'll just be forever crazy to me. So crazy. Next up was one of my favorite promos I've seen recently here. Pinnacle. We were finally introduced to MJF's squad here. They came out last week at the very end of Dynamite. The Inner Circle kind of broke down here, and MJF and Wardlow left, and Sammy Guevara returned to the Inner Circle. So we were introduced to MJF's new squad here with Tully Blanchard, Shawn Spears, FTR, and Wardlow. They announced that their name is Pinnacle. They're at the peak of the mountain. Tully says, and back in the day, he was with the best wrestlers in the world, and he's going to go out with the best wrestlers in the world as well. Punk says Chad Gable also leaves WWE after Mania and goes to AEW. I would love that. If what they were saying is actually true, I would love to see that. James says, trust me, I didn't like the Universal and the SmackDown version of the women's tag team titles at first. One day, you'll get used to the NXT women's tag team titles. I don't think I'll ever want to see the NXT women's tag team championships. It's just a waste to me. Van says, why Hardy has no WrestleMania match? I have no clue, man. No clue. Obi James says, have you seen Booker T commentate himself in TNA? It's so funny. Yes, I love that. I love that a lot. It's so good. So good. I saw it first. Says, good night, AEW. Taking a quick nap to wake up at 3 a.m. for Justice League. Eastern time sucks. Good show. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Yes, please leave. Justice League is way more important than this post show. I'm jealous. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Hope you enjoy it, man. And don't speak to me, please, afterwards, because I don't want any spoilers. Flash says in 2 to 3 years the Pinnacle will have all the gold in AEW. I wouldn't be surprised. Although that they'd be kind of missing. They don't have enough for them. So either, like, I don't know, Wardlow, MJF, or Sean Spears are gonna have to not have gold. Well, I guess they could have trios titles. I guess you could do that when those get announced this year. Also, I believe this is the first time it's been said on TV, but FTR is the only Grand Slam tag team champions in professional wrestling history. They have held the NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and AEW World Tag Team Championships. No one else quite like them. Hell, maybe FTR will win the Impact Tag Team Championships down the line. It's a possibility. Maybe FTR will win the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships at some point. I don't know. Punk says Sean Spears' both company runs are bad. I think that he's turned a new leaf right here, though. I think this is going to be really, really, really good for Sean Spears and for Wardlow as well. I think both of them are going to get a lot from this stable. I really do. This is going to benefit everyone. This is the future. This stable is eventually going to be running the show easily. Molly Man says, what does FTR even stand for? I think it's supposed to stand for like a lot of things, but I think Fear the Revolution is what they originally went with. But they eventually just put it back down to FTR because I think there's someone else. There's a tag team in wrestling called Fear the Revolution, I think, and they were like threatening to sue them or something like that. Obi James says, don't worry, guys. Black, Ricochet, Andrade, Keith Lee, and Hardy will be in the Andre the Giant WrestleMania Payday Battle Royal. Probably. Vance says, was there a basketball game today? I have no clue. Man. I cannot tell you. Of course, afterwards, after this fire promo that MJF gave, he went back to his tagline saying, I'm better than you, and you know it. This promo, absolute flames, delivered the entire time, helped put over every single person in Pinnacle. And like I said, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see more. It is
such good shit.
If I had to tell you. DNM says everything Paul Heyman touches turns into gold. Roman, Jay, Big E, Apollo, CM Punk talking smack, Lesnar, RVD, helping Curtis Axel win the Intercontinental Championship. Yes, and I mean it. Calm down. Hashtag God bless Heyman. There you go, man. Hashtag God bless Heyman. Even though if he did the Good Brothers dirty, I still hate him for that. That's messed up, but maybe I'll forgive him. James says, should Stand and Deliver take place at Raymond James Stadium, Full Sail University, or Capitol Wrestling Center? The Capitol Wrestling Center for me. That's where I think it should be. Yeah, MVP is so good, man. With the Hurt Business. Hell yeah. It's a real shame that they took the tag titles off of them. I don't quite understand why that's a thing. It's a real shame. A real shame. Next up, we had a huge 10-man tag team championship. A huge 10-man tag team match. You guys all know I'm not feeling the 10 mans. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. Way too many cooks in the kitchen. I would prefer that AEW doesn't do anything over a 6-man. The trio titles, they're working towards them. It all makes sense to me. I'm fine with that. But over that, I just feel like it's overkill. All the time. And I mean, I get how you could do it if you do like a big match, like you could do your Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle or something in a blood and guts match. You could do Bullet Club versus the Elite, or Bullet Club versus Bullet Club, whatever the hell it is you want to do. But just having these like big multi-man matches over and over and over again, they just don't appeal to me. They really don't. They just don't appeal to me. This one, we saw Jurassic Express teaming up with Bear Country, which a lot of people are very excited about. A lot of people really, really, really like Bear Country. I'm not very familiar with them yet, so I'll have to see a little bit more. But they tagged together to take on Private Party, The Butcher, The Blade, and Big Money Matt Hardy. The wildest group of people I have ever seen in my entire life. The Butcher, The Blade, Private Party, The Bunny, I guess, as well, and Big Money Matt Hardy. What a weird collective of people. It's really funny. It's really funny. You know, maybe they should keep, instead of just hiring TH2, maybe Matt Hardy should actually bring in TH2 to this. And you know, if I'm just continuing to be honest, you know what would be the better thing to do would be to have Matt Hardy sign Private Party to the deal, and then have Matt Hardy sign TH2 to the deal, and have the Butcher and the Blade be the hired guns. The Butcher and the Blade, they look like dudes that are hired guns. And this is something I've never understood in AEW. You know, their tag team division is stacked, so I guess it's pretty difficult. But the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, they have the look. They have the look. Like, this team looks incredible. They look so badass. So when I saw them debut, and I wish that other guy was with them as well, by the way. I can't remember what his name was, but the third guy that used to be with them, he looks equally as badass as them. They would have been a really cool trio in this company as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Butcher and the Blade, they've just never really, I feel like they've never really gotten to where they need to be in the company. And I guess you could say that a lot about most of the AEW tag teams, because I guess you could say the same about Private Party as well, but they're young. Private Party's still really young, and they had some opportunities on Impact and stuff like that. But man, for me, the Butcher and the Blade, like, that's an ultimate tag team package to me. I would love to see them go further in the company and maybe even someday hold the straps. I would love to see that. Ayan says, hey, AEW, how are you doing? I just joined. Thank you, man. Hope you had a good day. We're kind of, I would say, somewhere in the middle of the show so far. Next up after this, we saw Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston cutting a promo, and it was fantastic. I love the dynamic between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. It's so good. So good. Eddie's like, hey, how are you doing? And like, he kind of interrupts him and says, ask me how I'm doing, Eddie. And he says like, two minds think alike or something like that, or we're connected. So I really like this a lot. And I really like that Jon Moxley took a shot at the Good Brothers, saying that he's still mad that he bought the Talkin' Shop of Mania pay-per-views. I love it. I love it. It's so good. The dynamic between them is fantastic. And I think, man, I think they've been able to recover from it pretty well, but the visual, had those explosives actually worked the way that they intended to at Revolution, I think this would have been just that much better. It just would have been so good to have Eddie Kingston like sacrifice his quote unquote life to help save Jon Moxley. It would have been great had we not gotten Snakes and Sparklers, but it is what it is. Flash says, Talkin' Shop of Mania, worst pay-per-view ever. Yeah, I cannot believe people paid $15 for that trash. And you know what? I've requested my refund from both of those, and I still have not got them yet. I'm very upset about it. Those were the worst pay-per-views of all time. Literally the worst pay-per-views I have ever witnessed in my entire life. I lost brain cells from that. My IQ dipped 100 points after watching that. It's just ridiculous. And then they had fake Ric Flair on there. Come on. Elvis says, do you think a WWE and AEW crossover is actually possible, and do you think it would ever happen? No, I do not think that it would happen. No. Even Punk says, after VCam retires, I still don't think so. I still don't think so, no. DNM says, come on, man, AEW takes too many shots. As good as they are, they can be unprofessional. WWE knows how to be strong when it takes criticism. Kind of, yeah. I guess I don't know if they're good at taking criticism. They more so just like don't listen to the criticism and just say like fuck you because we're right and you're wrong and you're dumb and you don't remember anything type deal. I don't know. They both have their own flaws. Obviously, no one's perfect. Molly Man says, scale of 1 to 10, how bad was Talking Shop of Mania? Man, it was like negative 400 on your scale. Like negative 400. They have like the cock torturer guy. Like, come on. Who cares? They had some weird nerd that looked like Chris Jericho starting off the pay-per-view. Psh, what a ripoff. They had fake Ric Flair. I'll tell you what. We're not going to have fake Ric Flair at AEW Underground. Once I secure that small loan of $69 million, AEW Underground will get off the ground and it'll be so good. And don't worry, we will have real Ric Flair there. Obi James says, was Talking Shop of Mania worse than Super Showdown 2020? Yes. It was the worst pay-per-view of all time. The absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Plus, just they got retropooption. I forgot about that. That was really funny. You know, also on that, they had that luchador death match or whatever the hell it was. Dude, that was the quality of that was so good. I cannot believe that. That was incredible. No Hack says, and Paul Lee is going to be in my corner when our fight goes down. So funny. Delight says, what do you mean Sex Ferguson was there to save it? If anything, Sex Ferguson helped drive that pay-per-view into the ground. Man, I can't believe it. It was just so terrible, so god-awful. I can't believe that I paid $15 for that twice. I can't believe I helped promote those god-awful pay-per-views twice for Fight TV. I'm just kidding. No Hack says the Boner Yard match was an all-timer. Yes, that was hilarious. I can't believe how ridiculous those are. And I can't believe the people that they get on those. It's insane. It's hilarious. I think that even the funnier thing about all of it is I think that I think that not a lot of people catch on. Especially when I think it was the second one. When I said that it was like the worst pay-per-view ever and that I wanted a refund and all that. People thought I was like being serious, but it's like they call it the worst pay-per-view ever. So of course you have to play off of it, right? Like you have to keep the joke running that it was actually the worst pay-per-view and that you did not have a good time and that it was childish and immature and just stupid, just overall stupid. And I did a giveaway for it. So of course I got one. JBOJ says, I heard they dropped the Braun versus Shane match for Fastlane. Yeah, my fiance was telling me that they haven't been featuring it in anything or something like that. I mean, good, because I certainly don't want to see that shit. That's for sure. That is for sure. I don't want to see it. Next up, we had a backstage promo here from Christian, and it was really good as well. It was really good. This is why I continue to have faith in AEW. Raw and SmackDown are not afforded those luxuries. NXT is still afforded those luxuries at the moment, but they're kind of running thin on theirs as well. But I think they did right by all of this. I think that they knew. I don't know if this is if they just pivoted after they kind of heard the reaction, but a lot of people were really pissed off when Christian came out and just kind of got into the face of Kenny Omega and got it out with him and picked up the AEW World Championship. That pissed off a lot of people. So it was really cool in this promo here where he said, look, I know that I have to prove myself. Thank God. I know that I have to stack up some wins. Thank God. And that he knows he's just not going to get an instant shot against Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. Thank God. But he did say that he is here for the AEW World Championship. He's here for Kenny Omega. He does want that match. So I have no problem with this match eventually happening. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. A lot of people, perhaps this is a dream match. Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. I've seen a lot of people say that they're actually going to be watching AEW now because of Christian. So it'll be interesting to see what he is actually able to deliver, how good he still is in the ring and all of that. I'm very excited to see that, and I'll make my judgment when I see that. If he can still go, then I couldn't care less, man. To me, I think that it's hard to say, but I would say the age is just a number, right? If you are 65 years old and you look great and you can still go, I don't think there's any problem with you wrestling whatsoever. What becomes the problem is when you can't go any longer. That's when it's time to hang up the boots. If that's at 30, sorry, you should probably hang them up. If that's at 40, hang them up. If it's at 50, cool for you that you were able to stretch it out this long, but hang them up. So I don't necessarily care about the age. I just care that people can go. And for me, I don't think that Gold can go. So I don't want him on my TV anymore. Edge, I don't care how old Edge is. The guy can still go. You can get in there, you can lace up the boots and be in the ring. I appreciate what you do for this business. I'm so happy to see you come back. Christian, if he can go, lace up your boots and go. I'm glad that you're able to come back out of retirement and have more matches, and he wants to cement his legacy here in AEW. I have absolutely no problem with that. Vance says, don't forget Chris Jericho. Yeah, like Chris Jericho, he's had his ups and his downs for sure. He's had his downs a lot more recently, but he was able to have a really good match with the Young Bucks at Revolution. So it's just, you have to be aware of that time. That's all. If you're in it for the money and stuff like that, cool. I mean, I couldn't care less, I guess. I just saw, I think it was Wrestle Talk. I can't remember who said, but someone said like, oh, shocker. Gold isn't in it for his passion of professional wrestling. He's just in it for the money. And it was like, yeah, no shit. Right. Duh. Do you really think the superhero Gold really cared about professional wrestling? Do you really think, did you get that? Did you think, oh, you know what? Gold really, really cares for the business, for burying the Fiend. You know what? Gold really, really, really cares for the business for taking the Universal Championship off of Kevin Owens. Like, no. So yeah, if you can still go, then you can go. Delight says, bro, Dustin Rhodes is 52 and goes like he's 25. Dustin Rhodes is a perfect example. Perfect example. I have no problems with Dustin Rhodes wrestling. He's fantastic still. So, I mean, the age isn't necessarily the barrier to me. It's not the end all be all. It's just about, can you go? If you can go, you're welcome on my TV. I appreciate all the hard work you put in. Thank you for everything. And I want to see you go. If you can't go, thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate everything you've done, but it's time to hang up the boots and it's time to get the hell off of my TV because I just can't watch this anymore. That's all. No harm, no foul. Vance says AEW saved Dustin Rhodes. Yeah, I mean, he's looked great over there. He looked great. And you know what's funny? Dustin wanted to fight Cody and at a WrestleMania, and Vince said no. No one wants to see Dustin Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes. No one will pay to see that. Well, sorry about your luck, but they won match of the year that year for their match at Double or Nothing. And I will never forget that match. I will never forget seeing that match. I will never forget how disgusting and crazy it was to see just like blood pouring out of Dustin Rhodes' head, like 3 rows back. Like that shit was crazy, disgusting too. I will never forget that. So it's really cool that, you know, AEW is open and these other people who, you know, that they don't necessarily care about anymore, they can have their space and they can go and they can do what they love doing the most, and they can prove everyone wrong. No Hack says, I've never seen Dustin versus Cody. Oh man, you should watch it. You should watch it. You should really watch it. It's from the first Double or Nothing. It's so good. It's so good. It's a bloody disaster. Like there's blood everywhere. It's disgusting. And it's so good. So good. Ian says, AOW, I just checked NXT results, so can you tell me what's happening between Jordan Devlin and Santos Escobar? Yes. So Jordan Devlin was the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, and then the pandemic hit and there were travel bans. So Jordan Devlin was stuck wherever the hell he lives and is not able to come over here to the United States. So since that was the case, NXT crowned they held a Cruiserweight Championship tournament to crown a new Cruiserweight Champion, an interim Cruiserweight Champion, and Santos Escobar won that, or El Hido del Fantasma, or whatever the hell his name was before, unmasked himself and he was Santos Escobar, yada, yada, yada. So during this whole time, while Jordan Devlin was technically the Cruiserweight Champion, they crowned an interim one as well. And now that Devlin is able to travel back to the U.S., they're probably going to have a match to settle it all. So whoever wins will be the actual NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Vance says, watch Double or Nothing 2019. They were both delivered a 5-star match. Punk says, what if Dustin vs. Cody happens in front of their dad? Well, their dad passed away. Vance says, I want my older brother. Dude, that line was emotional. It was so good. No Hack, so I got to go to Bleacher for the match. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm sure you could probably just Google it and find it. It's probably somewhere on the internet. JBOJ says, it's crazy. This year's WrestleMania will have Cena, Taker, Lesnar, or Triple H. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. That is crazy. Evan Wright says, Devlin has a brick forehead. What's up next here? Oh, it was the tag team match. So we have the tag team match with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston taking on the Good Brothers here. The Good Brothers attacked them before they even got to the ring, and I loved this part. We're just gonna skip right to the end here. Evan says that AEW main event was ridiculously great. It was, man. It was. I can't wait to get there and talk about it because it was fantastic. I love it. I loved it so much. So, of course, after this match was over, it was time to hashtag beat up Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega came out. It was fantastic. He was just swinging from left to right, just snapping his fingers all the way down to the ring with a chair in his hand. He was getting ready to hashtag beat up Jon Moxley right here. Really good. I love seeing it. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're too annoying, that Don Callis and Kenny Omega, they're just like annoying and yada, yada, yada. But I like it. I like where Kenny Omega's at right now. I think it's great. And I can't wait to see him beat Rich Swann. It's going to be great. Going to be fantastic. So anyways, Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers were beating the absolute hell out of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I believe they put Eddie Kingston's foot in a chair, and one of them jumped from the middle rope onto it, kind of smashing it. And then they were going to do the same thing on Jon Moxley. And the Young Bucks actually came out to try to save the day. They stopped Kenny from jumping on top of him and hurting him severely. And this is where they kind of got into a little altercation or of some types here. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega threw up the Too Sweet sign, which you can see here. Let me get my Too Sweet. There we go. There's my Too Sweet. They threw up the Too Sweet here, but the Bucks were like, nah, bro. Nah, bro. So they did not throw up the Too Sweets with the rest of them. They ended up getting out of the ring to walk away. Kenny Omega took off his shirt, and they kind of got into a heated exchange here. What's going to happen? What's going to happen going forward? Are we going to see the Bucks team up with someone else and take on Kenny and the Good Brothers? Are the Good Brothers going to take on the Young Bucks? Are the Young Bucks going to cave and finally team back up with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers? I hope that's the case, because I think that's what I would prefer to see. Young Boy Drew says, what's up, Detective? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Molly Man says, I'm going to call it a night, AEW. I'll be here for the SmackDown post show, but until then, good night. Thank you, my friend. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Obi James says Omega and Callis are 10,000 times better than the Miz and Morrison. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Bob says, have you seen the video AEW put out? It's titled The Fallout of the Lights Out match. You should definitely check it out. I haven't, but I would love to see it. Is it on YouTube or Twitter? I mean, of course, I'll have to watch it after the show. I almost clicked on my own video. AEW. Let me see here. Exclusive Thunder Rosa The Fallout. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so it's only 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long. Cool, I have it. So I'll watch it after the show for sure. Punk says, I want a John Morrison singles run. Yeah, I think you and most people at this point. Young Boy Drew says, what do you think of the Good Brothers losing Impact's Tag Team Championships to FinJuice? I think it was an odd decision. I really did. I was not expecting to see that. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult to see Impact losing all of their championships. So, I mean, unless the Good Brothers regain them at Rebellion, they're not going to have their tag team championships, the TNA Heavyweight Championship, or the Impact World Championship. They're not going to have any of those in their own brand. James says, your WWE 2K career mode as the Phantom were
such good shit.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Which one did you watch? Because I think I did Phantom in 2019 and 20. 2020, that game, man, it was wild. That game was wild as hell. CM Punk says, who is the leader of the MJF faction? I would assume MJF. Van says MJF's faction name is Pinnacle. Yes. Yes, sir, it is. So yeah, anyways, if you were wondering, the Elite is fine. There's nothing going on there. It's just some brotherly love. Just some brotherly love. They're having a little dispute, but ultimately they're fine. Okay, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. All is good in AEW, and all is good in the world of the Elite. Kenny Omega's good. The Young Bucks are good. It's all fine. It's all fine. The 19 Bob says the 19 one I enjoyed a lot. I don't really think I remember the 19 one. I can't remember which ones were which anymore. It's been so long. And the 2K20, I literally just played it. I just played the story mode and then got off. That was pretty much it. Delay says, I've got a bad feeling the Good Brothers dropped the Impact titles so they could take the AEW titles. That's very possible. That'd be crazy to see. I don't know how I'd feel about that, though. It's kind of weird. Good Brothers versus the Young Bucks at... What's the next pay-per-view? Double or Nothing? Guess I'd be fine with that. Have the Young Bucks had a long enough reign? All Elite Wrestling. Bob says 2K20 career mode made your dude look like a chump. Yeah, I hated that. I hated that so much. I really regretted putting my guy in it after that. So the Young Bucks have been AEW World Tag Team Champions for 122 plus days. Not bad. So Young Bucks 122 plus days. FTR, they were tag team champions for 63 days. Kenny Omega and Adam Page for 228 days, and SCU being Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky 83. Young Boy says, what's so good about Walter? I don't really watch him. He will chop the soul out of you. That's what happens. James says, we need more of your gaming channel, please. I'm working on it for sure. I'm working on it. I got to work on finishing Fire Pro. I think I have one more episode of that to do, and then I'll do Wrestling 3D Revolution. I want to play that. I think it'll be fun. And then we'll do Crash 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Super Mario Sunshine and Zelda Breath of the Wild. I need to play all of those. DNM says, could we see Good Brothers versus Young Bucks? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it at Double or Nothing. Bob says you should do a 2K session with your subscribers. Meaning what? Like we should fight each other? Because that game as a whole just wasn't very good. So I'm not quite sure how the online experience would be. Van says the only one thing I want from wrestling is AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega, which is probably not going to happen, unfortunately. Probably not going to happen. And 2K19, oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I play it on PC though. So if people would want to play, they'd have to have it on PC. What's up next? So next up, we got another promo segment here with Sting and Darby Allin, and I was kind of like, man, like I don't really want to see this anymore. Like I'm tired of seeing Sting chat segments and Darby chat segments and like blah 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 blah. But I actually ended up enjoying this. I did. I really like that Darby Allin addressed the whole situation about him not defending his TNT championship, because I've talked about that quite a bit. I found it very frustrating that he was stuck in this in this feud with Sting and Team Taz for so long, and it was so drawn out. He didn't do anything with the TNT championship really during this time, and I can't remember his exact words on how long he's had it, but he's had 3 defenses so far. So he says that he is going to pay tribute to the greatest TNT champion of all time, that being Brody Lee. So he said he's going to offer an open challenge to anyone in the Dark Order. So next week, anyone in the Dark Order, if they want to challenge Darby Allin for the TNT championship, all they got to do is show up. No Hack says, do you have Parasec? No, I'm not even familiar with that. Is that a game? Parasec game? Parasec is a proprietary freeware desktop capturing application primarily used for playing games through video streaming. Using Parasec, a user can stream video game footage through an internet connection, allowing one to run a game on one computer but play it remotely through another device. What? Whoa. That's crazy. Okay, I'm going to save this. That's crazy. I've never heard of this before. I'll check that out. Crazy. DNM says, were we supposed to see Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott earlier tonight? Yes, there were like 2 or 3 matches for NXT that got canceled because of the outbreak, unfortunately. Young Boy says Darby could possibly make a badass heel. I think eventually, yeah, but I think him and his babyface right now, he's really good. I think Darby Allin's going to be a huge star in the company, and him defending that TNT championship it's going to do a lot for him, I think, and that championship. No Hack says Parasec is an app that allows people in different places to play on the same computer. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Vance says, do you play Minecraft? Every once in a while, I'll get the urge to go back and play Minecraft. Not very often, though. No. It's a fun game, though. Fun game. I will probably be playing Minecraft later because I got to get off the internet. As soon as this is over, I told you guys, I'm getting off the internet. I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not being anywhere. I don't want access to anyone to pop into my game chat and spoil anything. I don't want someone to change their username, type it into a game chat. Nothing. Nothing. So I'm going into hiding. Oh, it's only been 2 hours. What the hell? Wow. Okay. So at any point now, when I'm done with this, I'm going into hiding. Daniel Bryan, yes. Yes. I'm not quite sure that that's what you're looking for, but there you go. Punk says they think they need to change NXT's location. I don't mind it. I just can't stand it when people are banging on the plastic. It drives me nuts. Young Boy says, what do you think about Team Taz? I personally think that Will Hobbs was a waste of time. I don't think he was a waste of time, but I think he'd do better outside of Team Taz for sure. And Powerhouse Hobbs is such a shitty name. I don't quite like that. I would much prefer to see him go back to being called Will Hobbs for sure. And I think that he's very talented as well. I do. Van says, don't worry. If you are waiting for your most favorite thing, then time will literally crawl to test your patience. I mean, hey, it's 3 hours away, man. 3 hours away. I can't wait. Well, I have to wait till tomorrow at like 3, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard one. Anyway, so Lance Archer came out once again, though. Once again. I didn't think I needed this until last week. I would really like to see Sting take on Lance Archer. I really would. I think this would be a great match. Dean M says, AEW, it's been fun hanging out, brother, but I got to go. Take care. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for coming out. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And yeah, we're going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes as well. No Hack says, I think Hobbs would have been better as a face because they needed more big boy face guys. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that one of the big things that AEW suffers from currently is they're overcrowded. They're way too overcrowded. So Dynamite, it's very difficult to fit all these people on Dynamite and have them have meaningful roles. I mean, there's only 3 championships that the men can really go for. 2, if you exclude the tag titles. So there's, I don't know. There's too many people for Dynamite, and Dark is not important enough to watch to me. I still don't feel like there's a reason to watch Dark. With Kenny Omega appearing on Dark Elevation, I kind of got that feeling that was like, okay, maybe they're investing more into this. There was promo work as well. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll continue to give Elevation a try. But I think what they really need to do is figure out a way to make those shows more meaningful and less just a dump for matches. That's all. I really don't think there's a need to have 20 matches on them. I don't get it. Why? It's YouTube. It's YouTube. So why not have 3 Darks or whatever, or you could have, 3 Darks, have them be an hour long, get rid of all the excess matches, record them all at one time, split them up, and throw in some promos, throw in some story, try throwing in some other stuff to make them more meaningful to watch. No Hack says, I watch Dark every week and enjoy it, but I just love meaningless matches. Yeah, so for me, I don't mind watching wrestling. I have no problems with very heavy wrestling shows. I have no problem with that, but my only problem is that I have to watch so much wrestling already as it is, and most of it's not very good. So on Mondays, I'm not pleased with the results on Raw. So Tuesdays, I really need that day to recover. I don't want to sit and watch 35 matches on AEW Dark for an hour and 30 minutes. And then, Wednesday nights are always pretty good. Thursdays, it's a nice little relaxing day. And then Fridays, usually a hit or miss. So I don't know, just a way to make those feel more important. And actually, if there ever comes a time, if AEW starts just killing it, they're supposed to have another show that's an hour long that will be on Dynamite. Maybe there's a world where I just cover AEW and NXT. It's very possible. So Mondays would be Dark Elevation. Tuesdays would be NXT and Dark. And Wednesdays would be Dynamite. Thursdays would be a day off, or Friday would be a day off, whatever it is. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the future. Bob says AEW Dark used to have important stuff at the beginning, but it slowly became full of way too many matches. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that AEW Dark is something that I would just throw on in the background while I'm working. You know, I don't think it's something that I would actually sit down and watch and do. And, you know, even when I was doing Elevation, you know, it was like, okay, I'm going to post this match. And, you know, I take the screenshot, I crop it down, I post it, then I grab it, and then I post it on Instagram as well. And it's like, by the time I do that, the next match is already over too. So then it's like, I'm just kind of in that cycle of doing all that stuff over and over and over again. James says, what NXT is doing with Zoe Stark feels like a real life My Career mode. Vance says Chris Jericho is the most successful wrestler of all time. Sure. I wouldn't argue with you on that. Anthony says, hey, I'm going to call it for the day, and I hope the Justice League Snyder Cut will be, wait for it,
such good shit.
I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Bob says AEW Dark used to have Kenny, Mox, the Young Bucks appearing regularly. Yeah, I think, you know, maybe they need to put those names in there. No Hacks says matches like JD, Drake versus Kingston, or Danny Limelight versus Brian Cage are reasons why you should watch Dark. Danny Limelight is incredible. Danny Limelight is very good. Very, very, very good. And, you know, I feel like I miss out on a lot of things because, you know, they'll have like Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, and they're like 37-1, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? I haven't seen these guys on TV for months. And it's just like, okay, they've just been wrestling a lot on Dark. So I don't know. It's just a lot to take in. Bob says Dark once had Kenny versus Joey Janela in a hardcore match. Yeah, that's big. That's a big one right there. That's crazy. Young Boy, I believe, says who should walk out if the NXT TakeOver as champion. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Karrion Kross, if I had to guess. No Hack says I kind of like how people like Kenny and Mox don't appear on Dark because it's the low tier show and their main event guys. Yeah, I can see that as well. I would like to see, you know, one of the things that I liked on Elevation that I noticed, this did actually end up involving Kenny Omega, but I liked it when they had Matt Sydal on there and they were like, look, if you win this, then, you know, maybe you'll get an opportunity to be on Dynamite. So I kind of like that aspect of it as well. Like if they want to treat it as just like the YouTube show, and that just having these as like the, a way to prove yourself as such, so that like doing well on Elevation or just regular old Dark could get you an opportunity to be on Dynamite. I like that. I think that's clever. Mox has wrestled on Dark a few times. Fair enough. I had no idea. All right, so I need to get to wrapping this up here. We're about 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Whew, crazy. So one of the things I also really liked about this show as well was the whole Miro segment and the that he did backstage. I thought this was perfect, and I think this delivered exactly what we all wanted. Alex Marvez asked Miro if he would grant them the rematch that they're wanting, and that they will forever be their butlers. Miro says, no, I'm done. I'm ready to move on. Just like the rest of us. Kip Sabian comes in and says, look, I'm not done with them. They ruined my wedding. And in fact, you pushed them into my wife knowingly. And then this is where everything got good. He was talking about his future, his destiny. And he says it's his destiny to be the AEW World Champion. Thank God. Thank God they acknowledge something like this, because I think everyone wants to see Miro with that AEW World Heavyweight Championship. It would just be perfect. So he also says, look, bringing your wife to the ring with you is the worst thing that you could ever do. I love the callback to all of the losses and all of the stuff he's had to go through for having Lana ringside with him. That was all great. And then he said, look, Kip, nothing else matters. When those bells ring, I don't care about you. I don't care about my opponent. I don't care about Penelope. I don't care about anything. All I care about is getting the win. That's it. That's all that matters. And then he said after the match, or outside of the ring, gave him a big ol' hug and said, we're still friends though. I really liked this. I thought this was perfect. And I think this is moving in the right direction. So once Miro left, Alex Marvez asked Kip Sabian if they were going to accept the challenge. And he said, yes, of course we are. We have unfinished business. So Miro didn't want the match. Kip does. Kip accepts the match. Miro's going to be pissed off. Kip is probably going to cost them this match. If it's that weird arcade match that they're going to have or whatever, Kip will probably be the one to lose it or cost them this match. Miro is pissed, beats the hell out of Kip. Maybe a small little feud there, one match. And then he goes on to do bigger and better things. Maybe introduce Miro to the TNT Championship scene. I wouldn't be mad at that whatsoever. That would be great. Bob says, I don't see best friends losing and becoming butlers. Me either. Me either. Because it's for life as well. I believe they said for life. So Kip cost them the match. Miro and Kip no longer friends after this. That's where I would go. And I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I would have liked to have seen that in their last match. But if they're going to head in the right direction, I'm just happy that they get there. If we're finally there. No problems with that. Next up, we go to another backstage segment with Marvez once again. This time he's here with the Dark Order and he's asking them who is going to challenge for the TNT Championship. They're all chanting. They're all wondering who it's going to be. And Negative One slides out from under everyone's legs and says that he is the one that is going to answer Darby Allin's challenge and become the next TNT champion. They said, okay, well, you know what? But since you're only 9 years old, maybe it should be the Meat Man, John Silver. So they're all chanting meat, 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 meat. So it was made official. Next week on AEW Dynamite, we will be seeing John Silver challenge Darby Allin for his TNT championship. I'm excited for this one. If this was a different scenario later on down the road, I would say I am all in on Silver winning the TNT championship, but I need more from Darby first. So for me, this is an easy retain. I hope that they put on a good match, but I think that Allin should 100%, like without a doubt, retain on this one. I think that is the best thing to do going forward. Maybe throw Reynolds and Silver into the tag team division as well again for the tag titles. They kick ass. Reynolds and Silver are so good together as a tag team, and John Silver is over like nobody's business. Crazy. Flash says Johnny Hungry. Yes, Johnny Hungry for that TNT championship. That's right. Young Boy says, do you think MJF's faction could have all the gold in AEW? At some point, sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely could. You could have MJF as the world champ, Shawn Spears as TNT champ, and FTR as the tag champs. Leave Wardlow out of it, unfortunately, but he'll get there. He'll get there. Next up, the lights were turned off. It is time for that main event match. Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker in an unsanctioned lights out match. This match ruled. This match absolutely kicked ass from start to finish. Holy hell. I had heard so much about this match all week long. The guy that was in attendance for this recording spoiled the entire show except for the main event. Guy said, look, this main event was incredible. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll have to tune in yourself to find it. And when I saw someone who spoils an entire show go through and say, hey, I'm actually not going to spoil this for you, that hyped me up to no end. I was very, very, very excited for this match. And, just because of like the hype that was going into it, but also because I've been a huge fan of Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa for a while now. And I've just been wanting to see this feud continue. And I've wanted to see them blow it all off in a huge match. And I couldn't be any happier. This is exactly what I was dreaming of. This was incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better match. No Hack says, by the way, Joey and Sonny had a little bit of dissension after losing to Cage and Starks on Dark. And in that match, Starks and Cage were consistently arguing with each other. Yeah, I think it might look like Cage is going to leave Team Taz. So maybe Team Taz is fine as well, you know? Drew says, I heard this match was the best match on the card. For sure. Yeah, for sure. James says, if Tommaso Ciampa wants to be NXT UK champion, he should move to somewhere in the UK. I mean, I don't even know if that match is going to be for the UK championship. Maybe it will. I don't know, though. Obi James says, I've never seen a women's match this brutal before. Such good
shit.
It was. Thunder Rosa was busted open. Britt Baker was busted open. Like, bad. She was bleeding like crazy everywhere. Like, there were tons of times where she was just trying to wipe the blood out of her eyes so that she could see what was going on. It was crazy. They introduced Britt Baker introduced thumbtacks into the ring. They had a superplex onto a bed of chairs. Reba went through a table on the outside of the ring. Thunder Rosa did a pile driver to Britt Baker through a table from the apron down. This was just crazy. Thunder Rosa did a Death Valley driver onto off of the middle rope onto a ladder. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Like I said, I cannot ask for a better match. This was incredible. I'm so happy for them to have this opportunity. They absolutely killed it. This is the first women's main event of Dynamite. It's the first unsanctioned lights out match for Dynamite as well. They killed it. There's not much more to say about that. They literally killed it. They tore down the house. From what I heard from, I can't remember where I actually heard it from. I heard they got a standing ovation. I heard that everyone was praising them after this was taped. There is a 3-minute video, supposedly, or not supposedly, I can see it, on YouTube of the fallout from that. So I'm excited to check that out. It's 3 minutes long. So definitely check that out after this if you're interested. AJP says they literally had blood, sweat, and tears in this match. They really did. And Britt Baker looked like she legit looked dead. After Thunder Rosa drove her through that table at the end. She was like lifeless. Her body was just ragdolled completely. It was so good. Like I said, I couldn't be any more happier for them. They absolutely killed it. It was fantastic. What a great way to end not a pay-per-view, but the show. All around fantastic. I hope that this did very well in the ratings for them. We'll find out tomorrow around 1 p.m. And we'll see what's next for Thunder Rosa. Maybe she gets a shot at Hikaru Shida and the AEW Women's World Championship. I'm not gonna lie, Thunder Rosa as the AEW Women's World Champion sounds fantastic to me. I like it. I don't know how all that would work because technically I believe she's still signed to NWA as well. So I'm not quite sure on her business situation, but man, I mean, having her go over someone who is signed to the company, Britt Baker, seems like they have a lot of faith in her and they're planning something for her. I can only imagine. So hopefully it's that. I think it's certainly time to dethrone Hikaru Shida. I think at this point, maybe at Double or Nothing. Actually, when is Double? No, Double or Nothing's like still 2 months away. Maybe, I don't know. If they can stretch it out, sure, whatever. But the next time that Hikaru Shida defends her championship, she should lose it to Thunder Rosa. That's where I'm going. Obi James says may want to buy the Britt Baker shirt. Yeah, it's a good one. My fiance has the other one. The other one of her covered in blood. Delight says match of the year candidate, no question. Yeah, it was really good. James says just in case if WWE 2K22 gets a Spotify soundtrack, what's your favorite song? I don't know. Hard to give you my favorite song off the top of the head. One of my favorite songs that I really enjoy listening to is this one. Royce. I'll paste it in chat for you. Trick. Here you go. Oh, I gotta make sure my system is muted because I don't want this playing. No, what the hell is this? This is from 2014? Really? Well, this video's trash. Hold on. I didn't know it was this old. What in the world? All right, is this it? Come on. Okay, here we go. I love this song. Here you go. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Can I read your comment? Sure. Where is your comment? Bob says, can you believe WWE were going to hire Thunder Rosa as a ref? Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? So crazy. Andre says, Maki Ito is going back to Japan. I know, it's so sad, man. Maki Ito, why? Why would you leave us? No, it's so sad. It is so sad. All right, well, that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Good Lord. Good Lord, what a post show. I'm signing off. I'm staying off the internet forever until tomorrow. I can't have any Justice League spoilers. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I greatly appreciate it. It was very nice chatting with all of you. I'll probably be posting a lot of stuff tomorrow. It's not going to be wrestling related other than the ratings for these shows tomorrow, but I'm certainly going to be posting some Snyder stuff. 100%. 100%. So I hope that you guys enjoy the Snyder Cut if you're watching it. It should be a good one. Thank you all for tuning in. Flash says Hangman fucks. Yes, he does. 100%. Brian, please don't forget to watch Money Heist. Yes, I'll definitely check out Money Heist. James says, good night, my friend. You are
Such good shit.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. All right, I appreciate you all. I will see you tomorrow on the Instagrams, and then I will see you all on Friday for the SmackDown post show. Have a good rest of your night, and I will see you then. Peace.